And welcome again to my 600 pound strife. This is the daily update. What we're going to be talking about today is your mental version of yourself versus the actual reality of the situation. Okay? And how those two things can either work towards your goal or they can screw you up big time. Okay? And I'm going to give you a good example of that. Growing up, I thought I was the biggest land mammal that ever lived. I was consigned to unfashionable clothing and... Ooh, I don't know if I like the lighting. I'm trying some lighting stuff. I got like this light thing. Anyway, that's alright, I digress. But what I'm saying is, I thought I was the largest thing that ever lived. And now that I am quite large, like, you know, the 600 pound thing, I look back at myself and I look at old pictures and I remember stuff. And I was a big guy, but I wasn't that big. Part of what made me like this is because I thought I was so large that I just felt hopeless about the whole situation. And I avoided the mirror. I just completely wrote my physical outward appearance off because I was made to feel so large. Like, I look at younger pictures of myself and I was wearing like a size 42 pants and like I was like 20, and that's big, but that's not like monstrously huge. I don't know if I like this. I was trying to do lighting so that I give you some feedback on the lighting, because I don't know, but this conception of myself actually, it persists to this day. At one point, I did previously lose a lot of weight. I went from a 5X down to just a regular extra large in the matter of about a year. I lost a lot of weight. I felt great. I went from a person who could eat a whole pizza at a sitting to eating like a slice and feeling full. Completely changed physically everything about myself. But what happened is I didn't change anything in here. I remember actually what happened and how I gained the weight back. This is weird. Most people, they don't actually like have like the little moment in their head where it clicks over that they fall off and things get bad. But what happened to me is it was a Halloween and I had taken the kids trick-or-treating. Sorry, I had a little accent slipping through there. Sorry. And I was there and I was in the kitchen at my nephew's godfather's place, and I was just looking at the treats and I was thinking to myself, you know, I've worked so hard, I've lost so much weight, but I feel the same way. I still feel monstrous. I still feel like I should be, I don't know, have some sort of alien slave thing on a chain, and, you know, I'm making a Jabba the Hutt reference here. I'm trying to make it look like I have a neck, and I don't know if that's working or not. Anyway, but I still felt monstrous. In the course of 9-10 months, about a year, I had lost all this weight. And I still felt like that. And that depressed me. That just ripped the soul out of me. Because I thought that after all that work, after all that suffering, after swimming until I almost passed out, like that's one of the ways I lost a ton of weight. I swam every day for like 2 hours at least. And here I was, and I still felt the same. This part, my brain, had nothing to do with how my body looked. And I got depressed, and I said to myself, frig it, fuck it. And I kind of made it a goal to go back to being the guy who could eat a whole pizza. That sucked. Just, when you're a big guy, and you think you're that big, when you grow up thinking that you're that unlovable, and that the one thing that would make you lovable and happy and change everything would just be to erase the physical person that you are and replace it with something better. And then you do, and it doesn't work. It doesn't flip this switch inside your brain that says, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. This is awesome. That doesn't happen. It just feels like a lot of work with no actual payoff, which was depressing. Now, I like to think that since I've realized that, this was a few years ago. That's almost 10 years ago, yeah. Ooh, I'm getting old. But since then, I've learned a lot more about myself. Like a lot more about how this thing is wired. Like that whole moment where I figured out at Halloween, it actually took me years of like gaining weight and being miserable to actually figure out that was the moment that everything changed. Well, not changed, but where I stopped caring about myself. It was almost like suicide by takeout, if that makes any sense. So, working on my head for years and years, trying to figure out how I work. Like, I know as you grow, you'll find you know more about yourself when you're 20 than you did at 15. And you know more about yourself when you're 25 than you did at 20. And, it's... If you can go through life and not learn anything, that's almost impossible. But if you can't go through life and not learn about yourself. So I've learned that I wasn't that big. I was actually kind of cute. I see pictures of myself, and I was kind of an attractive, bigger guy, sort of beefy, footballery type. And I'm like, huh. Because that did not, I look at pictures of myself, and they don't fit the way I thought I looked at all. It's almost like I had some sort of blinders on that didn't let me see any of that. So over time, my mind built a box this big, and I just grew to fill it. Now that is the very first thing that you need to change about yourself to properly lose weight. Because if you don't, you're just going to completely sabotage yourself at every opportunity. You have to work in your mind that no matter how big you think you are, even if you think you're small. I know people that think they are gorgeous, and they're not. Not even a little bit. But they think they are, and they rock it. So, everything in here that's telling you that you're hideous, that you're fat and ugly and nobody loves you, that's the stuff you have to fix. Because if you fix your physical self, but your mental self is all kinds of crazy, they won't mesh. They just can't. One will screw one up. If your body's all, messed up, if you're fat and, I'm fat, and your mind also thinks you're fat, you'll be fat. But if your mind thinks, no, I'm not fat, I'm a person, I can be anything I want to be, I'm not ugly, I'm not fat, I'm not unlovable, I'm a great person, then you won't be fat either. Just a bit of rambling about body image and how that affects your actual body, and I'm going to go answer that phone. So, you like this video, subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff. Leave a bunch of comments because I love hearing from my fans, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.